There's been quite a few big announcements since the last time I made one of these news videos. Not only has pretty much every Isekai Quartet series been confirmed to be returning, but there's also a whole slew of popular titles that are getting their own OVAs and movies. While I'm sure some of you are already aware of what these more popular announcements are, there could be a few other titles here that you didn't yet know of. So let's take a look at every new preview and announcement that's come out from the past month or so. Starting things off with the movies, it seems like almost every massive franchise wants to replicate the same success that Demon Slayer had. I mean, My Hero Academia just released their third movie in Japan, and along with it a new trailer showing a bit more with regards to what to expect from it. It does take place right after the events of Season 5, but we probably won't be seeing it overseas until something like Season 6 comes out. In a similar fashion, Jujutsu Kaisen is taking a more canon approach, and they're using their movie to adapt a prequel series that highlights the backstory of a new character, one who will be important a little bit later. It may not seem entirely relevant right now, but the fact that they're dedicating an entire movie to it does make it seem like they're pretty committed to getting to a certain point in the story. So this could very well be the starting point to a potential couple of new seasons in the future. Now, the movie that I'm looking forward to the most is The Final Singularity of Fate Grand Order, which just recently dropped a couple more trailers. If you've watched Babylonia and the movies that came before it, then you should be somewhat aware of what this Final Singularity means for the overall story. But if you're coming into this without watching any of the other singularities before, then unfortunately the only thing you're gonna understand is the very well animated fight scenes. Since much of the same team that did Babylonia is returning to do this movie, you can definitely expect the animation to be absolutely godlike. So even if you have no idea what's going on and who's fighting who, at least you'll get to see some of the best fight scenes since Heaven's Feel Part 3. With regards to actual original movies now, first we have Mari Okada's beautiful looking new film called Alice and Teresa's Illusion Factory. The story behind it is a little bit vague, but it does appear to be a coming of age type thing with a supernatural twist, kind of like a Makoto Shinkai movie. I don't know if it'll be as emotional, but I can say that Studio Mappa does seem to be doing a fantastic job with the animation. Plus, with Makia being the last movie that she directed, I'm sure we can expect there to be plenty of feels towards the end. Next, we have the trailer for the odd-looking movie Demo, a popular rhythm game that seems to have garnered enough success to warrant a film about it. I can't really say it's something that I'm personally interested in, but it is a type of isekai that deals more with music and drama. There's a tree growing from a piano, an unlikely relationship, and a whole lot of mystery. So I'm sure this is something that's more for the people who've played the game rather than those who haven't. Now, the isekai movie that I'm sure the rest of us are looking forward to is actually the unexpected announcement of the Isekai Quartet movie, a direct continuation to the most ambitious crossover ever made, which goes by the name of Another World. Of course, given that it was only just announced, we don't really know much with regards to what to expect from it. That said, I don't think a redundant title like Another World was given just for the fun of it. If I had to guess based on the visual and teaser that we were given, I'd probably say that our entire cast gets isekai'd for a second time, third if you count what happened in their own series. But since Ainz seems to be separated from the rest of the group, I wouldn't be surprised if he had tried to use some form of super tier magic to escape the world that he was trapped in, resulting in him and everyone else being sent to another world just like how the title states. As for where, well, the giant Gargantua in the middle makes me think that it's actually Nazarick. I mean, there's gotta be some reason they decided to paint Nazarick's fourth floor guardian as the villain. Think about it. How funny would it be if Ainz actually succeeded in bringing every person back to the Tomb of Nazarick? Then somehow, some way they all get separated and each person or group then has to make their way through the lower floors all the way down to the throne room. The reason Gargantua would be the villain here is because, remember, he's not sentient like how the other floor guardians are. He's simply just a mindless golem who's tasked with defending the Great Tomb of Nazarick. So it's very possible for him to automatically perceive these newcomers as invaders and as a result start trying to hunt them much like how he's supposed to. That or Gargantua's mind just gets taken over by a different force, in which case the true antagonist could be literally anyone from any of the isekai that's in here. In any case, I'm pretty hyped to see where this movie takes us. I know it's not canon or anything, but the dynamic all these characters have together is just so much fun to watch. Something that is a bit more canon is the confirmed continuations of each of the core series that make up Isekai Quartet. Well, all of them except for ReZero anyway. Going all the way back to the middle of June, Yojo Senki was confirmed to be getting its second season. No estimated release date was given, but we do know that the same studio and much of the same staff will be returning to do it. A few weeks after that, Konosuba also got confirmed to be getting its own brand new anime project. Unlike with Yojo Senki though, it's not clear whether this will be a movie, new season, or something completely different. I'm hoping it's a direct continuation to where the movie left off, but it's very possible this could just be some form of OVA or spin-off series. As for the other series, well, we already know that Overlord is coming back with Season 4 and a movie. And Shield Hero, which isn't even part of the core, was unfortunately delayed all the way to the spring of next year. Regardless, with all these isekai now getting the green light from Kadokawa, I wouldn't be surprised if sometime next year we got confirmation that ReZero Season 3 is coming out. Until then though, we definitely have a lot of other great series to look forward to. Now, another big piece of news that came out about a month ago was the reveal of an anthology of shorts coming out for Star Wars. Since Twitter pretty much exploded at the news of this, I'm sure most of you already knew that it was happening. But what you may not know is who is going to be behind each short. With a total of 7 different studios for 9 different shorts, you can expect a vast variety of different interpretations of this amazing franchise. Of course, the 2 by Studio Trigger are going to be absolutely insane, especially the one being done by the director of both Gurren Lagann and Promare. Then we also have another couple being done by the studio who did Devilman Crybaby. Production IG along with the director of Ghost in the Shell are taking on one of their own. Then there's another being done by the studio that did Made in Abyss and Shield Hero. As for the rest, well, those will be coming from the studio's Twin Engine and Kamikaze Doga. So there's definitely a wide array of talent being put into this anthology. Now, moving on to the rest of the trailers, first we got a new one for the adaptation of the manga Love After World Domination. An action comedy revolving around the budding relationship between a villain and the hero who's tasked with stopping her. It's nothing entirely groundbreaking, but it is a fairly wholesome story about a very unlikely romance. Next, we got new trailers for several anime coming out next season. There's Square Enix and Studio Silverlink's original called Deep Insanity: The Lost Child, Studio Mappa and Madhouse's new original Tacked Up Destiny, the adaptation of the manga Platinum End, and finally the new sci-fi original Rumble Grandal, most of which I'll talk more about once we get closer to next season. Then, last but not least, we have the new trailer for the highly anticipated continuation of JoJo. With this being the 6th part in the entire series, Stone Ocean follows Jotaro's daughter after she ends up in prison for a murder she didn't commit, in which her life becomes entangled with her father's and she's quickly introduced to the world of stands and those who use them. What's interesting about the way this part is being released is that it's actually a little bit unclear as to what Netflix plans to do for it. They've said they're going to be doing a global release sometime in December, but they haven't clarified whether that means all the episodes are just one of them. Since there is going to be a weekly TV broadcast starting in January though, my guess would be that the December release is just an early premiere of episode 1. Then the rest of the episodes will be simulcast once they start airing in January. Regardless, it's pretty exciting to see how close we are to part 6 when it was announced only a few months ago. But anyway, now that we're done with all the trailers, let's take a look at some of the recently announced anime and their visuals. The manga confirmed to be getting their own adaptations are Love of Kill by Studio Platinum Vision, the comedic fantasy isekai Uncle from Another World, a judo-focused slice of life called Mo Ippon, the superpower ecchi battle series New Battle Vixens, the supernatural mystery Summertime Render, and finally the plain comedic fantasy Kuroitsu-san from the Monster Development Department. As for the light novels, there was only the 2 of Alternate World Pharmacy and Sudeikano, a very minimal number in comparison to all the confirmed returning anime. Aside from Yojo Senki and Vinland Saga, there was also reveals for new seasons of Demon Girl Next Door, Restaurant to Another World, Skate the Infinity, Ascendance of a Bookworm, and finally Beastars. Lord Almeloy's Case Files will also be getting a new special episode in the future as well. Then when it comes to new originals, there's a Girls Frontline adaptation coming in 2022, Studio Madhouse announced an original film by the name of Goodbye Donglies, and the team that put together Expelled from Paradise is making a new movie as well. But yeah, that's pretty much every bit of news from the past month or so. If anything here had caught your eye, then be sure to let me know in the comments below. But anyway, as always, thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this type of anime content, then you already know what to do. So, until next time, ciao!